Let's bring him back. Israel goes back again. Right? This time we give that nigga an even nicer bat. This was titanium with some diamonds on it. Nigga goes to town again. Bong! Beat everybody's ass. And it just, the perpetual cycle keeps going, guys. Keeps going. That is the Israel-America relationship chat. For anyone that is unaware of our relationship with the United States, that analogy perfectly paints it for you as to how Israel is able to behave the way they do with almost zero fucking accountability to the world. So to bring this back, America first, the J6 prisoners are more important than foreign nationals being imprisoned by a foreign organization, by a foreign terrorist organization. Because Israel has their own problems, we have our problems. We got to prioritize our people and our problems. Hope you guys enjoyed that fucking analogy. Some loser in the chat says L analogy, fuck America. Yeah, Osama, fuck you.
Were convicted.
Nigga's name is Osama Bladden. The fuck?
Of crimes related to marauding the Capitol to try and stop the lawful process of certifying an American election. And the only defense that I can think of for this action today is that those people went there because they were told an abject lie by the President of the United States that the election had been stolen and that something improper was happening. And so in some ways, maybe I'm not suggesting this was his motivation, but you could justify it by saying, well...
I just got a text from my boy Elijah Schaefer. He said that his producer was pardoned. He was supposed to report to jail on February 3rd and he got pardoned. W fucking Trump, bro. So my guy Elijah Schaefer from Slightly Offensive, his producer was actually a J6er. And he was supposed to report to jail in February. And he fucking avoided it. That's awesome.
He lied to them and tricked them into going there under false pretenses because they thought it was their patriotic duty. So maybe they should get some consideration for that. Many of them have said that they went there because he told them to do that. But I'll tell you, what are the consequences of this? If people are told that you can engage in rioting, insurrections, attack police officers, and so on, and the President of the United States will call you hostages and free you, it's a hell of a way to start the next 4 years.
Yeah, look, I was prepared for shock and awe. This is just shock and awful, as far as I'm concerned. I mean,
good one. Good one, man. Fucking Van Jones with the fucking zinger. Wow. Get this guy a fucking microphone and a stage to tell some jokes.
When's
the comedy special coming out, buddy?
David is 100% right. This could be interpreted by some people as a green light for right-wing political violence. That's not his intention, but it could be interpreted that way. Because why?
Yeah, for maybe idiots. But right-wing political violence is always punished. Versus left-wing political violence is almost never punished. Notice how BLM and Antifa outwardly riot and destroy cities, but you never see the KKK holding rallies. Why is that? The KKK rallies are small, infrequent, and with a lot of security. The BLM rallies are large, in your face, and ostentatious. They are not the same. At all. BLM proudly protest, do speeches, show their shock when people like Daniel Penny get found innocent. But you ain't never gonna see a fucking Klan member stand outside of a courthouse saying, hey, we need justice for our fucking white boys. This bullshit. We need these hands gone. Fuck that. No, bro. You don't see them niggas ever. Ever. Why? Because political violence on the right is harshly punished and monitored by the FBI. Left-wing violence is not punished, yet is monitored by the FBI. Big fucking difference. Doesn't even come close. Van Jones.
Why do you put people in jail?
Chat, we cooking or what tonight? I'm on one tonight. We doing comedy. We doing commentary. We about to do a big Twitter space. Are you not entertained, niggas? We taking over 2025? Am I going to be the top political streamer? Am I going to be the top commentary, political, cultural streamer? We taking over, chat? Huh? Ain't nobody can be this entertaining, funny, and simultaneously on the pulse of what the fuck's going on. And give you guys expert opinions. O/slash in the chat, niggas. OSS is here to stay and take over. 2025 is our year. Whether we get monetized on YouTube or not, 2025 is our fucking year. Because our motivations are much deeper than fiat currency. Our motivation is to inspire the youth, inspire the fucking men, and lead a revolution to better men, political awareness, higher intelligence, and not being fucking morons. We're also here to help women become better too. A lot of women in the chat right now that watch me. I mean, most women hate me, let's be honest. But the smart ones fucking get it. And the smart ones typically have a boyfriend or a husband because they listen to what I say. If they can get past the way I deliver my stuff, I actually give women a lot of fucking game. So we're taking over, niggas. There ain't nobody more diversified on the internet than your boy. I can talk about virtually any fucking topic.
And you want to deter people from doing the same thing again. It looks like the federal government is no longer in the deterrent when it comes to right-wing political violence. That is scary.
Name a far-right organization burned a city down. Van Jones. Name the last time a far-right organization has burned a fucking city down. I'll wait. Oh, wait, you can't name one? What are you going to bring up? Charlottesville? Charlottesville? Where someone got ran over? That doesn't rise to the level of destroying entire metropolitan areas, defunding the police, bringing the National Guard in. They went super hard on Charlottesville, didn't they? They were fine people hoax that they used against Trump. That shit had coverage everywhere. That one event. But the BLM riots, nobody, they covered it for a few days. Just another day in office. So no, Van Jones, right-wing extremism and violence is not as prevalent as left-wing political violence. Not even fucking close. I'm gonna take a quick piss, guys. I'll keep letting this play for y'all ninjas. And we're gonna get ready to do this space soon.
Usually, when somebody comes out of prison, it's not right after they beat up a cop. Maybe they did something else. And there's some idea that they've confessed, they've apologized, they've rehabilitated themselves.
Never happened. Nothing but a picnic. And that's just not
Having these guys melt down is fucking hilarious.
going to work.
He seems to have a lot of new friends, too, who appeared today. I'm wondering what you made of what you think the message President Trump was trying to send by having, Tim Cook, Jeff Bezos, obviously Elon Musk.
All right, so I'm going to start this space up, guys. I'm going to do it on my phone, and then I'm going to join in on the internet. So bear with me here as I start this thing up. Holy shit, we got 3.9K saying that they're just going. Liddy. All right, so let me start this thing now. Kind of get people in. Then I'm going to open up a tab and also join. Because I think the best thing here is to start it on my phone chat. So bear with me. I'm opening up the Twitter space right now. Go to my Twitter, guys. Myron Gaines X. You're going to see it's going to be purple. And that will, that's how you guys know to click and join the space. Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to the space. Welcome to the space. We're going to start this thing shortly. Just waiting for everybody to file in, and we'll get this thing going in like the next two or 3 minutes. All right. So, bear with me, chat. I'm doing a million things here, man. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and open up the space on... All right. Well, probably we got some names in here, the big names, hopefully that are supposed to join. I will rotate them through because a lot of people might not be able to stay on the space. This is going to be a shorter space. Okay, I see some 100 emojis. Awesome. And here, chat, let me go ahead and show you guys the Twitter space so you guys can see what's going on. And those of you in this space, thank you for bearing with me. I'm live streaming this event on Rumble, YouTube, etc. So be cognizant of that, please. We already got some big headers hitting the house. We got Lucas Gage, Converse, Sam Parker. Suleiman just came in. Stu Peters is in the house. Let's see who else we got here. So yeah, guys, it's like I said before, this isn't going to be a long space. This is going to be kind of a short, succinct space. As big Twitter names come in, I'm going to rotate them in. I spoke with Andrew earlier. He's supposed to join, but I do know that he has a court date, so it's not 100%. Then I'm not sure what Nick is doing. I sent him the link too, but let's see what happens here. And I think it's important to note that, Nick survived a assassination attempt not too long ago. So, I am definitely sensitive to that. So, okay. All right, we got a couple people in here right now. So, I guess, here, Slim, I'm going to give you co-host, you and Sam Parker, because you guys are really good at helping moderate this stuff. Okay, boom. All right. So, okay. I'll kind of open it up, and then I'm going to turn it to some of my counterparts on the panel, and I'll be brief. So, how do we get here? Right around Christmas Eve, Laura Loomer sparked a very contentious debate on a very serious issue that's kind of been something that has been around, but not necessarily talked about at a public level. There was a bunch of controversy on the H-1B visa. I won't go into why some people had the views that they have, but the bottom line is there was a difference of opinion on this very tumultuous topic. Okay, there were people that were against it, such as myself, Sam Parker, Suleiman, Nick Fuentes, Lucas Gage, and some others. Stu Peters, who's in here. A bunch of us were against it. Dr. Lupus, Jake Shields, and there were some other people that agreed with it, right? Big names like Vivek Ramaswamy, Elon Musk, Alex Jones, etc. And the purpose of this space isn't necessarily to debate the issues or the positives or negatives of the H-1B visa. Rather, we're here to discuss the aftermath of this political discourse. After this discussion, multiple accounts that were critical of the H-1B visa and Zionism were demonetized, de-verified, and had their subscribers taken away. Now, as many of you know, with the verification check, that is integral to your ability to reach people on X to a degree. And on top of that, the subscribers is a feature where people that support your work can directly support you. This has absolutely nothing to do with ads, has absolutely nothing to do with the ability for a platform to monetize via ads. This is a creator to supporter direct connection where X actually benefits and gets a portion of. But it has nothing to do with ads. Okay? That was taken away. And on top of that was the demonetization. This might be the most contentious portion of the censorship here, because you can make the argument that X doesn't have an obligation to give you ad revenue, which is fine. We're not here to argue for that. What we are here to talk about is the fact that this app was taken over by Elon Musk in the name of free speech, and being the free speech being the bedrock of a democracy, and aligning that with the First Amendment. Now, for those of you that aren't constitutional lawyers or might not be familiar with American law, I'll be very blunt here. The First Amendment protects free speech and freedom of expression. Okay? Hate speech, okay, which is the main basis as to why this H-1B visa controversy occurred, because there's criticism of the visa itself and the individuals that benefit from it, aka people from India. Hate speech was the main basis as to why so many people lost their verifications, though we were never formally told this via email, right? So, hate speech, if you look at case law in the United States, in most cases, roughly 90%, is actually protected under the First Amendment. Why is this important? This is important because when Elon Musk framed Twitter as a free speech app, he explicitly referred to the First Amendment as a reference document for the basis of the free speech on this app. And I just discussed with you guys before, hate speech is largely protected under the First Amendment. I would make the argument that hate speech needs to be protected under the First Amendment because no one cares about speech that isn't offensive. Saying things that are nice, saying things that are politically correct don't need protection. It's the speech that is triggering, the speech that evokes emotion, the speech that some might deem as controversial while others might deem as truthful. That is the speech that needs to be protected. Okay? And not only that, but that speech needs to be protected, especially when it has a political context. Our founding fathers came from England to the United States to get away from tyranny. There's a reason why the framers of our Constitution made the First Amendment the First Amendment. It was that important that these men would traverse the fucking Atlantic Ocean under peril and danger of scurvy in old colonial times. They risked all that for the ability to have the First Amendment. Okay, and the Second Amendment, and Elon has echoed this before, the Second Amendment is to back up the First Amendment. This country was founded on those two principles. Men risked their lives to get these principles. And these principles are what Elon Musk framed Twitter on. So when we have political discourse on a topic like the H-1B visa and immigration in the United States, this is precisely the speech that our framers needed protected from political persecution. The ability to speak freely and have political discourse is an integral cornerstone of our society. I would argue it is the reason why we are the strongest and best nation in the world, despite our flaws, is because we can speak freely. Meanwhile, our first world English-speaking counterparts don't have that same privilege. We see people being arrested in London. We see people being arrested in Australia. We see Canadians leaving in droves. Though we have our problems in the United States, this is the best fucking country in the world, and I stand on that because I'm a hardcore nationalist. I truly mean that. Okay? So if Elon Musk is going to stand on his promise and protect the integrity of free speech, which he references the First Amendment all the time as being the foundation of his free speech motivation and doctrine, then he needs to protect the political speech of those that he disagrees with. Namely, individuals that disagree with Zionism, individuals that disagree with the H-1B visa, individuals that disagree on immigration or legal migration. The First Amendment was literally designed to protect individuals like us so that we can have political discourse and bring our ideas to the marketplace of ideas. But if our reach is stifled, if our ability to get to the marketplace is stifled, that is completely antithetical to the reason why the First Amendment exists. With that said, I'll end my monologue. I'll turn it over to Sam Parker and then Suleiman. And go ahead, guys, take it away. Whoever wants to go first.
Yeah, I'll jump in. I completely agree with you. And what I don't like about this is that when Elon is talking about this, he's specifically talking about monetization. So firstly, when you take away someone's monetization, you're basically taking away the ability to make money. But that's not the most important thing, because many of us were heavily demonetized anyway compared to even what we were earning with a sixth of the followers before October the 7th. But what the issue is that when he's basically saying, look, you will only be monetized if you essentially have the exact same political opinion as me, and you will be paid well if you do so, you control people to basically have the exact same view as you. And that's the first problem. The second thing is when they say that, oh, it's only a blue tick, there's actually a multifaceted issue when you take away the blue check mark. The first thing is when you take away the blue check mark, your posts are significantly deboosted. So if your posts are significantly deboosted, that means that when you're posting, people don't see what you've got to say. For true speech to occur, it's not only a freedom of speech, but you have to actually be able to be heard. I always give this analogy. If you put someone in a prison and they speak but no one can hear, that does not mean that the person has the ability to speak. Or for example, if YouTube was to allow someone to exist on YouTube but no one could ever see their content, that would then be censorship. So that's the first thing. The second thing about the blue check marks is that it actually removes facilities from you, and therefore it removes your speech. The first facility it takes away from you is your X Live. So for example, I used to go on X Live Monday to Friday. I know I took a short break and we'd get 20,000, 30,000, 100,000 viewers. Now you can't go on X Live. That means that ability to speak, that ability to relay your ideas in that video
Chat, this
medium,
is from his own words.
something which X is claiming they're going to expand on as well, is another form of censorship. It means that's been removed from you. The other form of censorship is video. So for example, when I want to post, or when any of us want to post.
So chat, this is his tweet when he said that. So you guys know that I'm not capping.
We create ourselves. You can't post videos longer than 2 minutes. And so you then have a further problem where, again, your speech is very much minimized and you're not able to relay your ideas. So it is an actual free speech issue, because people are like, oh, you can speak, but you haven't got your blue check mark, but you can still post. But first of all, you can't do X Live. The second thing is, and that's something that allegedly is meant to be a major part, they're going to redo the algorithm so that there's a separate video aspect or component of X. You're not able to go on X Live. You're not able to do videos above 2 minutes. And the most important thing is, we've created a large following. And the reason you create the large following, generally speaking, is people want to hear what you've got to say. People are interested in what you post, and therefore people follow you to see that. So when someone like me has gained 600,000 followers, Myron's gained a few 100,000 over so many different accounts, Dr. Anna's gained 1.5 million, I believe. Those followers are there to be able to see your ideas and thoughts. And when they've basically removed that, they are censoring your thoughts, and people who are your normal followers are not able to see that. So this is a major free speech issue. So I just want to talk about that. But the second issue is this. Elon keeps saying that, look, I believe in free speech. And yesterday we had Donald Trump saying that he's signing an executive order for free speech. And so now the issue you have is people, because they're not that smart, they think, oh, we're only speaking about the left, like it's actual left-wing censorship. But actually, the worst thing about censorship is with the left, they'll tell you, look, we don't want to hear what Myron's got to say. We don't want to hear what Suleiman's got to say. We don't want to hear what Dr. Anna's got to say. We don't want to hear what the rest of the people have got to say. Therefore, we want to censor you. We don't like what you've got to say. We're going to censor you. You said X hateful thing. We're going to censor you. You said Y thing that triggered this leftist person. We're going to censor you. With Elon and the right wing, they're pro-censorship, but they don't want to tell you the reason why you got censored, because we don't know what's the reason why we got censored, and B, they don't want to tell you the parameters and the mechanism by which you've been censored. So they for censorship, and they'll say, oh, it's a private company and whatever it may be, but then again they for censorship. The third point is this: Trump said, oh, he's going to stop governmental censorship. Elon Musk is part of the government. He is part of the Doge department. He is part of the governmental department, and then he is censoring. This is actual governmental censorship more than anything else. And therefore, when you're being censored, it's specifically impeding on the point that Donald Trump said. And I think what's happened is when Mark Zuckerberg says, oh, I now believe in free speech, in reality, he doesn't believe in free speech. He just realized that you can just say that. People are dumb. They'll believe it. And really, you can continue to censor. You can continue to do all these things. And that's clearly what's happened with Elon Musk. And you saw it yesterday when he did the Roman salute. You had the ADL come out and support him. So clearly what's ever happened in the background, they've given him his full-fledged support, irrespective of what he does or says. Because the ADL 2 years ago would have literally had a spaz attack over this. They would have literally censored. They would have removed advertisers. So that just shows you the kind of dynamic that's going on behind closed doors. So this is major censorship going on. And by the way, so we talked about the blue check mark, we talked about the monitor, and remember, Laura Loomer was the first person or one of the first people for it to be removed, but she was given it back. And so she was giving it back, and the only difference between her and us is she's a Zionist and we're not Zionist accounts, and that's literally the only difference. That's the first aspect. The second aspect is monetization was taken away, and as you said, you gave a good example of how the subscriber base is people who want to subscribe to you, they want to follow you, they want to support your work. Again, that was taken away. Ad revenue was taken away, and obviously ad revenue is kind of very low anyway, it's negligible, but maybe for others it's high. But again, it's a scenario where you should be able to earn, because when YouTube demonetizes, again, that's a form of censorship, because you're stopping people from posting on your platform. People then start giving up. People stop giving the will to relay their ideas and thoughts. But then on top of that, there's been bannings that's been occurred as well. So there's been a significant number of Groyper accounts that have been banned, known and unknown. So you can't make the argument that it's an unknown profile. For example, Dalton was a known profile. He's a human being. He's a profile he's a person behind the profile, and he was censored as well. And though all of those Groyper accounts were nuked at the same time. And so again, what's the reason for it? The only reason for their accounts being nuked was because of having a different political opinion. There was no other reason. So when Musk argues and says, look, people can insult me, but I don't want to pay them to insult. Well, first of all, banning the Groyper accounts isn't about pay. Taking away our blue check marks isn't about pay. The only thing about pay is the monetization aspect, and you'll see that the vast majority of us haven't even really spoke about the monetization that much, although it is an important component. So it's mass censorship on a major scale that's occurred, and it goes against what Trump is claiming. It goes against free speech, which is what Musk is claiming, and it goes against what the right said. But I always said this: the right doesn't believe in free speech. If anything, we all know free speech was always a classical left idea. In reality, the right only cried that they didn't have the ability to control speech. And now that they have the ability, they're controlling speech. But guess what? Everything ebbs and flows. And just like the right's in power, the left's going to come back in power. And just like you're censoring now, they'll censor then. And then you can't complain about that censorship, because when you had the power, you were pro-censorship. So that was just a quick monologue that I want to say, Myron, but I'll pass the mic back.
Yeah, no worries. Hold on. Okay, so I'll turn it to Sam. And guys, let's try to keep our monologues short and sweet, because I don't want to do the space too long. The goal here is obviously, a call for freedom of speech. And hopefully, like I said, we're obviously being very respectful here. The goal here isn't to like just attack Elon Musk. I mean, at the end of the day, we're all happy that we have the ability to speak on here, but to be able to really utilize that free speech, the reach is a critical component. But yeah, I'll turn it to you, Sam, and then we can go to Stu, and then Doc, and then anybody else that rolls in.
First of all, can you hear me?
Yeah, we got you. Go ahead.
Okay, my app is big time glitching every time we have an important space, like my app is nerfed. I don't know what the deal is, but no, listen, first of all, before I get into anything, this is going to be a short and sweet space, as Myron said. This is a space of action. We're strategically trying to get Elon Musk's attention. And so we have almost 2,000 people in this space right now. Here's our first assignment. I would like to direct your attention up to the nest. Dr. Anna Lupus has composed a tweet that we want to boost to Elon's eyeballs, and we're going to use the power of this space to do that. Okay, so I need everybody listening to pull out your phone, sit in front of your computer, whatever, go up to the nest, go to the tweet that Dr. Anna sent, and I want you to do two things. I want you to do two things very carefully. You can do more than two things, but I want you to do at least these two things. I want you to like that tweet, and I want you to reply to it. I want you to reply to it and say, Elon, please pardon these accounts, or Elon, please fully reinstate these accounts, or Elon, please restore full Twitter privileges and features to this account. Something along those lines. But please do that now. Please take a moment to like that tweet and reply to it, specifically asking Elon to restore all features to those named accounts. Please take a moment to do that now. It's up in the nest. Okay, you can do more than that. You can retweet it, quote tweet it if you want, but at the very least, at this moment, and we're going to do some more of this throughout the evening, please like it and reply to it right now so that we can really get this sent off and really boost it in the algorithm. So we got over 2,000 people now. I want to see at least 1,000 comments and a couple thousand likes on this tweet right now. This is our big Hail Mary, right? This is our big Hail Mary. This is our strategic, counter strike, if you will, trying to get Elon Musk's attention, trying to appeal to his altruism, if it's there. We don't know all the things that happened inside of Twitter that made this happen. These bans and revocation of features happened over the course of a few days, several different days, in fact, to different people at different times. So we don't know exactly what was happening internally at Twitter. We don't know what Elon's aware of and not aware of. We don't know what he's responsible for and not responsible for. But we're appealing to him in the spirit of the J6 pardons and in the spirit of Donald Trump, quote unquote, restoring free speech to the internet. We're asking him to look at these accounts and fully reinstate them.
And I think it's important also to note for everybody in here, like, I need you guys to understand, if they get rid of us, you're fucking next. For anyone in here that's monetized or thinking like, oh, this doesn't apply to me, whatever, like, the encroachment of a right doesn't ever stop. It's a slippery slope that leads to more inevitable censorship and issues when it comes to depriving individuals of their First Amendment right. So we just happen to be the first individuals that were hit by this. And let me be very explicit about this. I've been demonetized on X for well over a year. I have no fucking financial fight in the game here. My primary platforms are Rumble and YouTube. I'm a video podcaster. I'm not a fucking Twitter guy. I've only been on this platform for roughly a year. I got demonetized early on, and I never made money on this shit. Maybe less than $1,000 over a year at that. And I lost my monetization very quickly. So it's not about the money for me. It's about the principle, right? And other people here have lost a lot more money, and I'm sure they can go ahead and air their grievances. But I look at it like, look, I'm streaming this. I have a big platform. We need to bring this out because this is something that affects a lot of people. Thankfully for me, it didn't affect me financially, but for a lot of people it did. And for those that are thinking, oh, I'm safe, I'm still monetized, it's just a matter of time, guys. If they take our rights away, you're fucking next. And this is why being a free speech absolutist is so goddamn important, because it never ends with just one person. You might say the wrong thing one time that pisses Elon or someone else off, and the next thing you know, bam, you're retaliated against, right? And by then it's too fucking late. So we saw that with the TikTok CEO. Oh, free speech, right? He wanted to go ahead and have that whole spiel when they went after him. At that point, it's too late. Now they got 70 days to make something happen where they have to make very invasive changes to the platform to be able to stay. So once they hit you guys, it's too late. We've already dealt with it, but that's why it's so important to reshare this stuff. But anyway, I'll turn it to Stu. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, thanks a lot for having me. Important space, and I agree with most of what's been said, and I think that it lays a good foundation for where we're at. I mean, you can get into intricate details really about taking away communication because you can't DM people that have blue checks now. You could talk about the lengths of our posts. Nobody can see posts longer than 200 and some odd characters. Can't post videos over 2 minutes, and as Suleiman pointed out, you can't go live. So yeah, the censorship part of it is absolutely real. Again, like I'll just reiterate, none of us are really up here complaining about the monetization. I mean, that is a thing, but the free speech thing, it wasn't just taken from us, it was taken from, all of the hundreds of thousands, collectively millions of people that follow all of these accounts, because they now don't even have the opportunity to say, hey, despite the fact that, not everybody agrees with what I or they or Stu or anyone has to say, I can't go support him. I can't go support him because I am one of the people that does like him. I can't go support him because he doesn't have the ability to have subscribers. So he's basically interfered with business operations for people who, rely on the support of their community in order to remain on the air or be effective or get the message out to the people that actually want to hear it and say, I want to support that. So the right to support us has been taken away from those people. None of this really surprises me. Obviously, I mean, our leaders, as I have said here many times, and I use heavy air quotes when I say leader, our leaders are installed and they're selected. We don't pick them, and we have this illusion, this person that we're supposed to cheer for. But at the end of the day, they all have the same boss. And, it doesn't surprise me. We have a president who was paid $100 million to buy an election. We have, BlackRock just gave Elon $6 billion. So at the end of the day, Elon Musk, he's just not the boss. And when his boss says shut it down, he shuts it down. And, there's a common denominator between all of us here. All of us have named the Jew. All of us talk about Jewish supremacy and the stranglehold.
All right, we're on YouTube, so I have to mute this part, chat. But hey, go to the Twitter space. Go to the Twitter space, ninjas, and listen to it. I'll mute this a little bit because we're still on fucking stream on YouTube. And I'm not going to censor him. I'm going to let him say what he wants to say. I'm not going to tell him, hey, bro, I'm on stream. I'm just going to mute it on my end. So, guys, join the space. I'll give you guys the link because I'm not about to censor fucking Stu Peters. Obviously, I'm on YouTube, so I got to be cognizant of that. But I'll drop the Twitter space for you guys so you guys can hear it. There's a Twitter space link. And as I do this, I'm trying to fucking fix my video capture. Fucking Frank came in and distracted me, and I pushed it off the screen. All right, I'll unmute it again.
Characterizes that in order to gaslight everybody who's paying any attention to this kind of censorship at all whatsoever and has an interest in looking up what he's saying about it. But that's just a lie. So in effect, he's taking this money, which I believe my nominal amount was $5 to subscribe, and he's taking your $5 every month and just putting it in his pocket, and he's not giving it to where you want it to go. And so essentially he's stealing not only from me, but he's stealing from all of our subscribers. And I mean, that's theft by swindle, it's fraud, it's theft by deception, it's criminal. So at the end of the day, I mean, people just have to realize, yeah, we can echo, Dr. Lupus's post, and we can do whatever to make it go viral. And, trying to get the attention of Elon Musk, I guess, I mean, if that's the objective, that's fine. But Elon already knows. And, he's skating it, he's skirting it, he's not giving us any reasons or definitive, hey, this is what got your account restricted, essentially neutered and worthless at this point. Not to say that I won't be here because I think it's a great battleground, but obviously, we have to diversify in our means of communication and grow other outlets and channels and platforms and continue to do what we do. But I just wanted to bring that up as that, the theft angle of all of this is something that's not getting talked about a lot. And, I guess I'm not surprised. And I think that, in some roundabout way, this is serving as, hey, look, we've been warning you about this guy. I mean, this guy that wants to put a chip in your brain and control your thoughts and your dreams and predict your future actions and control your memories, what you remember, what you don't remember. He wants to go like occupy Mars. So it's just not a surprise to me to see this transhumanist, um, bow down to his paymasters. This is why he got $6 billion, and I'll end it there.
All right,
Okay,
I'll
I'm
go
going to
for
interject real quick because Elon's actively tweeting. So everybody go up to the Nest, find the latest tweet in the Nest. It's my response to Elon. I'd like you to go up there and retweet that tweet, and then respond to Elon yourself and ask him and ask him to reinstate or to look at that tweet.
So
So
we just
go up to
got.
the Nest.
No, that's fine. Sorry, Sam. Finish what you're saying, then I'll turn it over to Laura.
Yeah. So go up to the Nest. I responded to Elon. He's out there actively tweeting right now. I need you to like and retweet my tweet, and then respond to it, asking Elon to read the tweet and respond. Okay, so it's a little complicated. Go up to the Nest, find my tweet that I just responded to Elon with, like it, retweet it, and then respond to my tweet, reply to it, asking Elon to read the tweet and respond to it. Okay, so you guys did real good boosting the original tweet. Now we're going to try to get his attention. He's out there actively tweeting his favorite accounts. So let's get his attention, like it, go to my latest tweet up there, like it, retweet it, and reply to it, asking Elon to read my tweet, read that tweet there, and respond to it. Please take a moment to do that now. Like it, like my tweet, retweet it, and reply to it so we can get Elon's attention.
All right, I'll turn it over to Laura. And I know, guys, again, this might seem redundant or whatever, but this is honestly the only way.
Monetized, and despite reaching out to every single email from X I can think of, from support verified premium, I haven't received a single correspondence back from a human. I got an automated response from a robot. No explanation, just like what Stu said, no justification whatsoever about like why it was turned off, even though I'm like asking for a specific reason. I showed examples, emailed examples of other people who posted unredacted FEC reports who also were, not found to have violated the terms of service. And so all I was asking is what Stu was asking for, an explanation as to why people cannot subscribe anymore and why the monetization has been taken away, and maybe, a process I could follow or some kind of explanation as to when it's going to come back on, or, how it got turned off. I also noticed that a few days ago, X all of a sudden kind of quietly changed take away your money with no reason. And that's going to be implemented, I believe, either March 15th or March 25th of this year. So that's kind of interesting that was quietly implemented right after, all of us were targeted, and we all had the same thing in common. We were talking about H-1B visas. And ironically, not to, promote my own story, but I just broke a story 5 minutes, and that's going to be.
And just so you guys know, Fresh is going to stream on Fresh or Fit channel. So Fresh is going to do a stream on Fresh or Fit and Fresh or Fit on Rumble. So I'm making way for him. He's
Out of Silicon. So this guy murdered a U.S. Border Patrol agent the day that Donald Trump took office, and the day that, Donald Trump was promising mass deportations and talking about immigration. So I don't know how this is extremely symbolic of the fight that we were, fighting, trying to expose the lies about the visas, and how a lot of these people, not all of them, I'm not saying they're all criminals, but many of the people on H-1B visas overstay and are thus here illegally. And unfortunately, Americans have been gaslit, and they've been lied to think that just because you get a visa, you're here legally, when the reality is over half of the illegals who are in our country today are here illegally because they came here legally on a visa they overstayed. It doesn't matter if you came here legally on a visa. If you overstay, you're an illegal alien. And Tom Homan even confirmed that today when he was doing an interview on Fox News talking about
guys, it's pinned in the chat right now. I don't want to take away from Laura saying it's pinned right now in the chat on the Fresh Fit channels, Fresh Fit YouTube, Fresh Fit Rumble. It's pinned at the top. click that link and come on over and watch. Okay? I'm going to give you guys the respective links you need. If you're watching on YouTube, I'll give you YouTube link. If you're watching on Rumble, watch on
to Elon. I have reached out. I have tried my best to be cordial and respectful to get an answer, but they now officially have a government website. We were told that Doge was not going to be an official government organization, but they now have a .gov website, doge.gov. And yesterday, President Trump, I was there. I witnessed it in person. I'm currently still in D.C. because my flight got canceled because of snow. And Trump said that he was going to issue an executive order to ban any government-sponsored censorship. Thus, Elon Musk is now a government official. He doesn't have to take a salary to be considered a government official. Donald Trump does also not take a salary. He's president of the United States, a federal employee. So by his own executive order, Elon Musk is technically going to be in violation of this executive order when President Trump signs it. And so I love President Trump. I support President Trump, but I also think that we need to be tweeting at President Trump and JD Vance and telling them, hey, you know, you guys said you're going to implement this executive order to stop government-sponsored censorship. Well, you know, you have a member of your own administration who is now like not giving us answers about why.
All right, guys, I'm going to switch on over to the Fresh and Fit streams right now. Come on over, guys, to Myron Gaines X on Rumble or YouTube. Links are pinned in the respective Fresh and Fit chats. Come on over.
One of the inaugural balls last night, and the number one thing people said to me when they came up to me was, I follow you and I can't see your posts anymore for like the last month. Well, it's officially been a month this week since we spoke about the visas on Christmas. Boom. So I don't think that having 100 people come up to me last night in Washington, D.C. from all over the country telling me that is a coincidence. So again, if they want to deny it, they can say, oh, you know, there's no such thing as shadow banning. You're not being shadow banned. You're not being censored. Then prove it to me by having a real human reach out to me and the rest of you and explain why all of us are all of a sudden having reduced visibility, no monetization, depriving our subscribers of the right to be able to subscribe to us, okay? And many of my subscribers also want to know because they have reached out, like yours have as well, inquiring about why they're still being charged when they don't have any answers about whether the subscriptions are going to be turned back on. So these are, you know, just legitimate questions. Trump, tag President Trump, tag JD Vance, and say, how are you guys going to resolve this issue when you sign your executive order? Because even today they had a press conference. Big Tech was at the White House talking about expanding AI, and they were asked about the H-1B visas. And President Trump said, I support both sides of the issue. So that means that he supports Elon Musk, and he also supports us as well when we're speaking out. He said that today. You can go listen to the tape yourself. So it may be in our best interest to do that. And I wanted to, before I go, because I have a dinner meeting here in D.C. in a few moments, wanted to show you the story. The media is refusing to talk about the fact that this guy worked for Tech. I had to go look it up, and they've since deleted his LinkedIn page that we screenshotted. But H-1B visa worker overstayed his visa, a German citizen, just murdered, shot a Border Patrol agent in the head, now dead the day of Donald Trump's inauguration. So I want to let other people talk, of course, but I just think that it's like the most vindicated thing to happen. It's terrible that it happened. Obviously, I don't want a Border Patrol agent to be dead. It's tragic, but it's crazy how we were all demonized and told that we were racist. And again, I'm not saying that all H-1B visa holders are bad people. I was accused of being an anti-Indian racist. I was accused of so much bullshit. And you actually have an H-1B visa worker. In this case, he's not even Indian. He's a German citizen who just murdered a U.S. Border Patrol agent the day that Donald Trump got inaugurated. So take it for what you will. I want to let other people talk, but
Laura, yeah, I appreciate it. This is Sam. Before you go, could you do a favor for us? Could you go to Dr. Anna's tweet and quote tweet it to your followers and say, ask your followers to like and retweet it? And then what we'll do is we'll boost your quote tweet.
Which one is this? Let me go to her profile.
Yeah, it's the one up in the nest. It's up.
Chat, so I'm going to give you guys the link as well to do this for, we need the OSS to assemble on this one. Okay. Need you ninjas to go ahead and retweet this as well. I'll drop the link in here for you guys. Go ahead and like and retweet this shit right here for me, guys. OSS assemble, my for guys. Boom. Boom. Now just repost, just like the post. You guys you don't gotta retweet it, guys. Just like the post. See, this is the thing, guys. When it comes to like activism and getting shit done, this is the uncomfortable shit that no one wants to do. Right? I don't want to do this shit either. Honestly, this doesn't really affect my bottom line that much. I'm doing this shit on principle. I told y'all already, I don't make no money from doing this. Like, I've been demonetized on X for a minute. I don't go fuck. X is not my main platform. But it's the principle, chat. It's the principle. That's why I'm hosting the space.
It is censorship. You can't just say that, oh, it's, freedom of speech isn't freedom of reach. You're censoring the free will of other American citizens or people around the world, ex-premium users paying to use a service to decide with their own free will who they would like to support. I mean, like, you're literally acting like Gestapo and saying, hey, you're not allowed to give this person money. So I don't understand how they can say that that's not censorship, especially when they're now talking about launching X payments. So, there's subscribers, which is your own free will. That's not X's money. That's a private individual's money. That's not Elon Musk's money. And then there's ad revenue. And they've taken away both from people. So I personally think that regardless of what you say, it doesn't matter if you're a racist or, if you're accused of being an anti-Semite, whatever it may be, I think that as long as you're not a pedophile and you're not inciting terrorism or promoting terrorism, you should be able to have an account and you should be able to say what you want to say. And you should be able to be monetized if people want to pay you. I mean, how are you going to tell people how they can and can't spend their money if they're adults, right? So I'm fighting for this. I know a lot of you may not like me because of my views on Israel, and I am a Zionist. I know you don't like that, but I have aggressively been fighting for this, and you may not see my posts because I'm heavily shadow banned right now. But if you go through my account over the last month, every day I have 15 tweets talking about this. I've been really respectfully and cordially trying to have a resolution so that we can come, to some kind of understanding about what is happening with our accounts. So I really hope that everybody ends up getting their blue checks back. I really hope that everybody's able to be monetized again. And
hey, Laura, can I ask you a quick question, Laura? You just were talking about freedom of speech without reach. Can you tell us where that catchphrase came from?
I believe it came from, and again, I don't know who invented this, but the first time I saw it was when Linda Yaccarino was talking about it a while back when she first got brought on with X. And so that was a big controversy because people were like, well, what does that mean?
Laura, Jonathan Greenblatt said it about 6 months before that. And then Sacha Baron Cohen said it in 2019, 3 years before that, at an ADL conference.
Right. Well, no surprise there. So the ADL, of course, is leading all that.
Do you not suspect that the ADL has been involved in most of this censorship?
Oh, I'm sure they have. I mean, look, they were involved in all the censorship with YouTube. Look, the ADL even tried to censor they had a targeted campaign against Comcast when I ran for Congress, if you recall, saying that they didn't want my ads running on TV because even though I'm Jewish, I ran ads criticizing the leftist Jewish opponent that I ran against. So, of course, the ADL censors. I mean, look, that's undeniable, right? So I wouldn't be surprised. I saw the ADL came to Elon's defense yesterday. That was interesting after the Trump rally. I don't know if you guys saw that tweet, but they were defending him and saying, oh, calm down. It's not a Nazi salute. It's just an awkward hand gesture. So usually the ADL is the one that's very frenzied and up in arms. But hey, I wouldn't take anything off the table. I would not be surprised to find out that the ADL has, been pushing for demonetization. But I
Yeah,
thought that
and
Elon,
look, believe
I
it or
don't know
not,
though, because Elon had originally said that he was not taking guidance from the ADL. So again, I hate to speculate, but I've asked every single day for the last month for an answer, and we could all stop speculating and we could all stop promoting these theories if we actually had some answers, but nobody wants to give us any damn answers.
well, I mean, the ADL is the
Laura,
one thing
I
that
mean, just quick question, Laura, because you're connected to the Trump administration. I mean, there's one of two reasons why you received your blue check mark back, right? Either it's your connection to Trump and the drama that might cause, or it's obviously because of your position on Israel. One of them two is the reason why. If it's the former, have you reached out to people in the Trump administration in terms of the argument you made is the same one I made, that basically Doge is a governmental organization. President Trump signed executive
I'm
order.
not trying to hide anything. Look, I obviously do not work for President Trump, but it's no surprise that I know President Trump and I know a lot of the people who work for him. And so, I mean, look, I know for a fact that reporters contacted the Trump administration when I lost my check mark because they thought it was so absurd that somebody who is now working with President Trump would take away the monetization and the blue check of somebody who literally traveled with the president and, you know, was mentioned by President Trump during multiple events. And so it was pretty shocking because I'm not just any Trump supporter. I mean, it's been heavily publicized, and it's no secret that I'm very closely aligned with Team Trump. And so that's another reason why what Elon did was so egregious, because he says he's supporting President Trump, but then he's attacking one of his most loyal advocates and one of his most loyal surrogates. So I really don't know how I got my check mark back, but I'm grateful I got it back. But I have been, when the media contacts me and they ask me about it, you can go read the Bloomberg reports. You can go read all the reports that the media has published about this. There was an entire CNN segment about this, and they said, wow.
I know some of you guys don't like Laura, but she is a Trump loyalist, and she's there on the ground actually with the Trump people. So what she's got to say is actually very important, chat. She's like on the ground in D.C. right now.
But I do know by the reporters' own admissions in their articles that they contacted them. And I've certainly expressed my frustrations to people in Team Trump about what is happening. And I'm like, hey, you know, like a lot of people who campaigned for President Trump are now finding themselves having their livelihood taken away. And I think it's wrong. So, and I'm not just advocating for myself. I speak about this as a whole. You can see my tweets yesterday. I said today, look, it's day 2 of the Trump administration, and we need to have a conversation about whether this executive order is going to be enforced against members of the Trump administration. So I love President Trump and I support him, but at the same time, promises made are promises kept, and he's going to promise to not have government-sponsored censorship, and he's going to be encouraging today, like saying, oh, I would support Elon Musk purchasing TikTok, then we need to have a conversation about what that's going to look like if Elon purchases TikTok and what's going to happen if he has X money when he's already shown that X is totally okay with demonetizing people and taking away their blue checks, which prevents them from DMing people, prevents them from replying. I mean, it was so hard for me to do my job. It still is as a journalist while being suppressed, and also when I didn't have my check mark, because I wasn't even able to upload my streams, my videos, my podcasts. I wasn't able to DM certain people. I couldn't reply to certain people. So I'm trying to utilize my voice and my position to advocate for full free speech absolutism. Again, I don't like a lot of what many of you say. Many of you have attacked me for my views. I really don't give a shit about that, because I personally think that it's more important that we have free speech than, oh man, like someone says something.
I mean, Laura, listen, this is Twitter. It's full contact debate. That's what Twitter is.
Right. And I don't have a problem with it. So I've never.
Yeah. So, look, again, I'm going to end this thing soon, guys. Probably like a little bit longer. And I'm going to end this, this space. But again, I know some of you guys are like, oh, Laura's talking too much. Look, the point is this, guys. She's the only person that's a Zionist, right? That also is a free speech absolutist. And on top of that, she's actually in D.C. and knows Trump's people. So what she's got to say is extremely relevant to the situation. She's the closest to the Trump administration out of anybody here. So yes, what she's saying has merit. Okay? So for you guys, bro, why is she talking? Like, bro, don't be an idiot. Understand that if we want to get the free speech back, we need all hands on fucking deck. All right? So don't worry, we're going to go back to the stream. I'm gonna shut this thing down here soon, but
trying to pick a fight with the trying to speech absolutism and really have a platform where we can truly be citizen journalists and post our content as was promised to us when they first, purchased X and said that it was a home for citizen journalists. So I'm gonna have to go in a few moments, but as I said before,
no, that's cool, Laura. Thanks for coming in.
I'll come back on if you guys are still on.
No. I'm gonna end this thing soon. I'm gonna go to Lucas.
Just let me know, Laura. Go ahead and DM me when you quote tweeted it, and I'll put it up in the nest, Laura.
I'll do
that. But I just think it's really important for people to be respectful because the conversation, look, it obviously got heated. It wasn't nice for Elon to call me a troll. It wasn't nice for him to say that we're subtards or whatever else he said. But I think that if we're respectful and cordial, and I've really been trying hard every single day for the last month, I send a message, I never get a reply. We can all have a cordial conversation and everything can be fine. We're not asking for, him to. I don't think that we're asking for anything unrealistic. It's a shame to see that now they're talking about even expanding his power by potentially allowing him to purchase X or TikTok along with X when people's rights are not even being respected here on X. And I know some people think that monetization isn't free speech, but if it's subscribers, it absolutely is speech because you're then
Laura, I gotta wrap this thing up soon.
Citizens United.
I gotta wrap this thing up.
And this is the last thing I'm going to say. Citizens United, ruled that money is speech. And so if money is speech in the form of political donations, then money is speech in the form of all donations, right? So it is the same thing. You can't say that freedom of reach is not freedom of speech. It actually is. Freedom of speech is freedom of reach because Citizens United has ruled and established as election law in this country that money is speech. And so if you are taking away somebody's ability to make a living or depriving them of their subscriber money, then you are infringing on their speech. So I just wanted to, give you that little pointer there in case you weren't all familiar with this decision in Citizens United. Our government already recognizes in the form of campaign finance rules and campaign finance laws that money is speech.
All right.
I just want to make an important point. First of all, just to be clear, I've never called Laura a filthy Zionist pig, but we have been on the other side of the. We have. I mean, you'll have to find the tweet, but you won't be able to find it. But the thing is, we have been. But the thing is, we have been on the other side of the debate, and both of us agree that neither one of us should be censored. I even brought up that other guy, the Indian guy who you had a debate with, for the interest of free speech, because that's the whole point. We actually are advocates for it. We don't want to censor anyone. And another point I want to make, I do think someone needs to write up a tweet if it is that we're retweeting or sharing tweets, actually talking about the fact that yesterday the president of the United States signed an executive order to say that censorship's not allowed, and Elon is part of the government, and now we have been censored.
That's what I did today. So maybe you're not seeing it because I am shadow banned.
All right, guys. I've talked about this ad nauseum with the thing with Elon. I don't mean to mute you guys or whatever, but I'm on stream right now. I want to get this thing wrapped up. We've went way over longer than I wanted to. I'm going to turn it to Lucas Gage, and then I'll go to Doc, and then I'm going to close this thing out. So, sorry, I don't mean to be an asshole, but I got to make a definitive stance on this. People have been yapping too much. No offense. So, Lucas, go ahead. Say what you got to say. We'll go to Dr. Lupus, and then we'll close this thing out.
Okay, bye everybody.
Bye, Laura.
Thanks for having me on. Appreciate it.
No worries. Enjoy the dinner. Go ahead, Lucas.
Thank you.
You're on.
While
Lucas,
we're
you there?
waiting for Lucas, everybody
Oh, he might not
like
be at
and
his mic.
retweet both tweets in the nest. And if you've already done that, quote tweet them. Quote tweet Dr. Lupus's tweets in the nest. Quote tweet it. Quote tweet it and tag Elon and ask him to read that tweet. So this is your final assignment. After you've liked and retweeted Dr. Lupus's tweet, you're going to quote tweet it. You're going to tag Elon. Make sure you don't start your tweet with the at, okay? Because it'll get deboosted. So say, dear at Elon, please read the tweet below and reinstate the accounts. Something to that effect. So you're going to like it, retweet it, and then you're going to quote tweet it. That's the last thing you're going to do. You're going to quote tweet Dr. Lupus's tweet. I'd like everybody to do that right now, please, while we listen to Lucas and we get wrapped up.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, yeah. So, yeah, you guys know the story with me. I got suspended twice. The first time 3 months over nonsense. The second time for even more retarded nonsense for 6 months. And, you know, while I was suspended, here's the weird part. I was able to speak through my phone and do spaces, which I think people were able to do all the time. You're just unable to tweet. A few people with funny hats decided to get upset. Tag Elon Musk. Next thing you know, I lost my spaces and my live stream capabilities without any explanation while I was already locked out for those months. And here's the thing. I agree with what Soliman said, what everyone else said. It's that not only our speech is being limited, but even our subscribers and our people who are following us. And look, we have less free speech than a prisoner does, and someone on death row. And I'm going to explain why. Because people on death row can appeal. We can't even appeal. There's no way for me to say, hey, can you turn back my stuff? Can you turn it back on, please? There's no way, there's no support, there's nothing. You have to literally tag Elon Musk and maybe he'll help you. And he never does, not with us, right? Because I remember when I first got suspended or blocked out, Soliman was able to get a hold of Elon. I'll never forget that, Soliman, don't worry. And so Soliman spoke to him and he said, well, Gage did this. And I didn't call for violence. Same thing happened again for 6 months. This time, 1984 got a hold of him after blasting Elon over and over again. And he goes, well, Gage, again, he did violence, which I didn't. But the point is, there's no recourse. This is the worst part of it all, right? As Laura said, and everyone else has tried to get a hold. I mean, Myron, you lost 2 yellow check marks. That's a lot of money with no explanation. So we are just, look, this isn't Jack Dorsey's Twitter where everything's free and they can do whatever the hell they want. Elon is selling a product. I don't know how this isn't fucking fraud or false advertising or something, because now he has paying customers. And as Stu said and others have said, their subscribers are still paying for a product they're not getting. And so again, we all know the ad revenue, they can complain about companies don't want to give you anything. But when someone wants to pay you for a service, person-to-person transaction, they're getting involved, they're taking away their free speech. We all know that as well. So for me, I was watching for 6 months as this platform got worse and worse and worse. And I'm not excited to be back. I'm here. I made a new account because my other one won't get it, the blue check mark back. Who knows? They're already trying to attack this one. But, we're here together. A lot of us stuck through October 7th together. We have this network. And the reason why we're able to even say this is because we've stuck together and have this network. There's been people who've DM'd me, say, bro, I had 50,000 people got nuked. No one even knows who they are. And that's it. They're gone. So we're lucky that we have this connections with each other and we're able to help each other do this. But there's a lot of people who've been getting wiped out. No one even knows who they are whatsoever. So it's very important that all of us here today, what Sam tells you to like and retweet, to do it, because we need to get Elon's attention now. Will he do something? I don't know, but we can't not try, because look, there is no recourse now whatsoever. I mean, you go to Help Center, there's nothing about my functions don't work, something's wrong, none of that crap. So, I mean, like I said, this platform has just gotten worse and worse and worse, probably because Elon got that $6 billion from BlackRock and so on. I don't want to yap too much, but this is not the platform that I remember a year ago, which was awesome. We were able to destroy Zionist narratives October 7th and so on, but it's just getting more and more worse. And it's not even about us, guys. Like Myron said, this is about all of you, because if they can knock out Lupus, 1.5 million people, right? Blue check gone. Sam is deboosted like 98%. I don't even know what they put on his account. It doesn't even make any sense. Dr. Lupus got hit the same thing just recently. She gets 8,000 views with a million people follow. What? And no explanation. Where's the transparency? Where's the whole, we'll let you know how to stop it, and all you got to do is delete things? There's nothing. And these are paying customers. This is not Jack Dorsey's Twitter. You can't just abuse paying customers. If I go to a restaurant and they don't give me the food I order, that's like what? Theft? That's something, right? How is there no legal recourse? Something's got to happen. So maybe it will happen. Maybe Dr. Lupus might do something. But, look at Nick, for example. Nick was doxxed. I was doxxed. Nick almost got assassinated because his freaking address was seen by 16 million people. I was harassed for literally months on end. All the people bragging what they did to my family on X, coordinating on X, doing everything on X, and they're still doing it. And they're still saying things on X. Like, what's going on here? So we have someone already almost killed, a family harassed for 6 months straight, people getting suspended and banned for free speech. It's nonsense. There's only Z speech, right? Because if you're a Zionist, you'll get your blue check mark back. You can say kill everyone, flatten everything. And we're just saying, stop the genocide, and we're Nazis. So anyway, I don't want to complain too much, but again, folks, it's not about the money at all. It's about the principle, as Myron said, and it's about getting our reach back, to reach the people who want to hear this. It's about your freedom of speech that's also being taken from you as people who want to hear what we're trying to say and the truth we're putting out there. So this is really important, folks. I don't care about, I got demonetized so long ago, I don't even remember when it was. But it's about the principle. And standing on this is very important. We have to work together to do it. So make sure you do what Sam was saying earlier, and I yield back my time.
All right, I'll go to.
I know you're trying to keep it tight, but we got Dr. Lupus up here.
Yeah,
I'd like to give her just a moment if we could.
I'm gonna go to her, and then I'm gonna close this thing out because I've been on for an hour. Right. I promised I was gonna do this thing in less than an hour. So go ahead, Doc. Try to keep it succinct if you can, and we'll close that after you.
Yeah, hi. I just want to say we're setting up a second space because we're not done at all. We have some important things we have to discuss, and I have a lot of people who wants to speak also. So I think Suleiman is setting up another space, right?
Yeah, that's right, Myron. I messaged you as well.
So
yeah,
we will
yeah,
just,
no worries, no
because
worries.
Myron has to go, so we will just go straight to the other space and continue, and people can get to speak. And I have a few things that I want to go through. So if everybody goes to the new space now.
Okay, yeah. And before you do that, everybody, there's 4 tweets in the nest. Please like and retweet all 4 of them. If you could. Again, we're trying to be strategic. Use the power. There's 2,500 people in here.
I just shared my stats from the past month, and I want to go through it with you because it's quite extreme, and that's what I want to talk about in the next space. So
and you're suing and fundraising. That's up in the nest for everybody too.
There's a lot of things going on because it's so extreme what's going on now, and it's not about our 7 accounts. It's about everybody's right to free speech. So it's not about if they like us or our opinions or anything. It's about everybody's right to speak freely, like Elon promised us. And it's extreme what's going on. It's a complete new form of censorship because they're no longer suspending big influencers. Now they're just destroying the accounts completely, and it has nothing to do with premium or the check marks. And that's what I want to go through with you from my own stats from the past month. So to try to explain to people what's really going on here, because it's very, very complicated, and it's a whole new form of censorship. Because that way Elon can say, oh, they are still here. I didn't suspend them. I believe in free speech, but it's as good as dead. If he takes 1% more from my reach, I have 0 reach, and then that's as good as being completely suspended. So if we go to the second space and everybody,
I've put the tweet in the nest. It's the one on the left hand side of the new space. So once Myron,
I'll repost it right now.
Yeah,
I'll literally repost it right now.
Myron has to go.
Yeah, I'll repost it right now. I'm gonna tell everybody to continue on with the space, to go there. Part 2 space coming, join up. I'll put that out there for you guys. So I'll end this one right now, guys. And then you guys, obviously, there's almost 3,000 you guys in here. Please go to that other space. Hell, I might even join in and just mute myself and mute the tab just so I'm in there to show support. So I'll do that as well just to show some love. I'm going to be streaming and stuff, but that way people that are on X can see me in that space. They can join in. So I'm going to end this one right now. Love y'all, ninjas. Hopefully some of this gets through to Elon, man. I've been retweeting the stuff that you guys put up in the Nest. I mean, hell, I even put up on the Nest the screenshot where he says that, it's the bedrock of democracy. So, yeah, man. Anyway, love you guys. I'll join up in this space in a little bit, and I'll just mute myself and sit in there. Later, guys. Go follow some of my guys. Go follow them. Go check out that space. Everybody's going to be in here. That's going to be the part 2, guys. Okay. So that is done. We'll get back to business here, right? Now, look, before I get back to business here, let me be explicit about this, okay, guys? All right? If you want to make real change, you have to be able to deal with real discomfort. One more time. If you want real change, then you need real discomfort. Okay? You need to do things that you don't want to do when you don't feel like doing it, even when it doesn't benefit you for the greater good. I made this space because I wanted to bring awareness, I want to unite the people, and I wanted to have a very serious discussion on a very serious topic. I got no fucking, I got nothing to gain from this shit. You guys already know. I built my platforms on YouTube and Rumble. I've been on X for a year. I use it a lot now because it's fun. It's a way to reach a whole new audience. Keeps me politically engaged. But I don't need it. If I lost it tomorrow, it wouldn't really affect things that much, to be honest with y'all. It really wouldn't. Okay? So, but as someone who truly believes in free speech and someone who has polarizing views alongside some other people, I cannot stand by and do nothing. If you stand for nothing, you will fall for anything. I know some people in the fucking chat were bitching, crying like little fucking girls. Laura Loomer sucking. This isn't about Laura Loomer. This isn't about Zionism. This isn't about whether you like her or not. There's a way bigger fucking problem here. And she is the closest person to the Trump administration. Yeah, Saliba's not even American. Who cares? He was utilizing an app that's pushed by an American, and he has a huge audience in the Muslim world and in the UK. I don't like Sam Parker. Who gives a shit? He's run for office, and he's a very smart, intelligent guy. Dr. Lupus. She's a doctor. And I think she's from Denmark. Over 1 million followers. Huge supporter of Palestine. No, Stu Peters is crazy. Yes. That's why he's so popular. He says what other people don't want to say. Do you guys see where I'm going with this? You don't have to like, watch, or even respect some of these people. That's fine. That's fine. But in order for us to make change, we have to do things that we don't like sometimes. Now, what I could have done was just turn the fucking stream off and done the space and not streamed it. I actually thought about doing that. But I say, fuck it. I'll give you guys the insight into what I'm doing. We'll do this space, knock it out for an hour, and then whatever. But I got people fucking crying in the chat. So, I mean, if you want to go ahead and hate on people that are fighting for free speech, fine. So, yeah. Anyway, let's go ahead and get back to the, and this is not for the Castle Club niggas. Castle Club guys, you guys I fucking love y'all. You guys were actually mad that I was muting the thing the whole time to address the bitching in some of these chats. So shout out to my Castle Club guys. That's why I love y'all niggas. Because you guys fucking get it. The hardcore supporters, you guys fucking get how important a space like that is. These other niggas just want to be entertained. So, like I said, it's a quick little commercial break, right? So let's get back to it over here with this January 6th stuff.
All the others, Zuckerberg, front and center in the rotunda, right next to, across the aisle from former presidents, and what message it actually sends to you.
So I think there was a double message. I think one message is pay to play. You want to be Donald Trump's friend? Write a check, buy some Bitcoin, whatever.
That's with all politicians. That's not just Donald Trump. That's with all politicians. And I would argue Donald Trump is probably the least one. Donald Trump is the only president, fun little fact for you guys, Donald Trump's the only president that left office poorer than when he went in. Every other politician goes in making a median salary and comes out a multimillionaire. How is that? When they all make like, a congressman makes like 170, 180K a year. How is that you're worth like 100K and then 3-4 years later you come out as a multimillionaire? How is that? I know. Now, that definitely raises some questions. Trump is the only sitting president that has lowered his net worth from being in office.
But I think the second message is really who this government is going to work for. Front and center right there. It's going to work for the billionaires. Oh, yeah, Donald Trump made a lot of promises while he was running, and he said he was really going to help out American families. And American families have a lot to complain about on how expensive life has become, on how challenging it has become. But he gave that whole speech today. And boy, he wanted to talk about renaming the Gulf of Mexico. He wanted to talk about taking back the Panama Canal. But where was the discussion of housing prices? Where did he really talk about what he wants to do on health care? Where was even something about the junk fees that people have to live with and the way they're fleeced by giant financial companies? None of so flood the zone with everything else, but the very heart of what the American voter told us they wanted, and that is someone who would fight for them and fight for their economic security, just wasn't there.
When he first came to the White House, 2016, there was a lot of questions about, okay, he's going to hand over his businesses to his sons, whatever.
Yep.
Now he released a meme coin the day before, yesterday. His wife, the First Lady, released one, I guess, this morning, today. Obviously, there's questions about the crypto industry, which the government will have a role in deciding the regulation of it. Is this a complete conflict of interest?
Of course it is. But look, we used to talk about transparency, how we wanted transparency in government on the notion that if it was out in public, if there was sunshine on it, then our elected officials would behave appropriately, government would behave appropriately. This is transparent corruption. It's just right out there for everybody to see. You want to influence Donald Trump, help make him richer. You want to influence.
That's all politicians, though, man. That's literally all politicians. Like I said before, he's the only president that's become poor from being in office. Read some quick chat. Suda Masuda says, I never donate to anyone. My second donation nearly 6 or 8 years. LMAO. Thanks, bro. I appreciate that. G Mario, Mike Beats, Isaac Buford, Julio Don, Kevin Mayo have been subscribed to the channel. Welcome, guys. Myron, don't burn yourself out with these soul streams. Oh, read that one before. Jerry Hogan's, WMR, can't wait for the space. Thank you. Nita, $10. Thank you. Howdy, my name is Bill. That's from Single. Libby, $10. Cordula, $10. Sally says, do not fear a man that spams 1,000 memes. Instead, fear a man that spams a meme 1,000 times. Wise words. Dude Otis, Jay Skipper, John Boudreaux, the Soccer Thug, all subscribe to the channel. Welcome. Myron, are you familiar with the war in Sudan right now? You believe Trump will intervene and bring it to an end? Probably not, because Sudan doesn't have direct geopolitical implications on the United States. I've talked about the Sudan Civil War multiple times. So, oh, wow. Trump did pardon Ross Ulbricht, it looks like, chat. He did pardon him. Tim Cass talking about it right now. I'm going to make a quick little deviation real quick from regular scheduled programming.
In Poland, I talked with Vivek Ramaswamy a couple of years ago, and we were trying to figure out how you bring responsibility to the vote. That you must have some civic responsibility. And one of the ideas that we floated,
they've been on for what, like an hour? Yeah, they normally.
I don't think Vivek is for this idea now, but he floated the idea: you must sign up for selective service to get your voter card, men and women. It doesn't mean you'll be drafted. It mean, and we haven't used the draft in 50, 60 years. It means that you are willing to be in order to vote.
Guys, also, do me a solid. Open up a YouTube tab, watch the show on YouTube, and like the video. Let's get up to like 2,000 live viewers on YouTube, guys, if you don't mind. Castle Club, guys, I want to see us go up by like 100-something. That would really help me out. Like the video, guys. Subscribe to the channel on YouTube. YouTube is how we're going to grow, guys, and build that audience and bring them over to Rumble. So open up a tab and watch it on YouTube. Like the video. You can mute it. You don't got to actually watch it there. Just let's get more live viewers, please. And like the video.
In favor of something like that, I'm curious what you think.
One of my favorite science fiction authors, Robert Heinlein, proposed that.
Yeah.
That you had to have that kind of stake
Glad that he has Thomas Massey in the house.
in it. But he also had
Service
another
guaranteed citizenship.
Yeah,
He's
he had
anti-Israel.
another proposal, which was
One of the few
if you
politicians
could
that
solve
didn't
a
take money from
quadratic
AIPAC.
equation inside of the voting booth. And then he said, we'll put a twist on this. If you fail to solve the equation after entering the voting booth, you never leave the voting booth. You disappear. If you
The floor opens up and you go into the...
And he said under this scenario, you would have informed, educated 12-year-old girls who could vote, and then you would have adults, their parents, who couldn't.
Right,
Just
but
throwing it out
solving a
there.
quadratic equation doesn't confer understanding of global affairs, you know. But I'm curious, in Poland, how does it work?
Well, we never had this kind of problems because we are 40 million people now. Most of us had to flee our country during the communism. And you have to remember that when we gained back our independence in 1918, we had the communists after World War II for 70 years occupying our country. So many people had to leave Poland, fled to US.
Again, guys, I'm not using Rumble Studio, so it's going to be a lot harder for me to read Rumble rants and Castle Club chats. Donate on Myron Gaines X for tonight's stream chat. Donate on Myron Gaines X in the thing. Here's the link. I'm going to pin it in the Rumble chat here in a second as well. I've seen a couple of you guys come over watch on YouTube. Do me that favor. Let's get that YouTube up to like 1,500 to 2,000 live viewers. Let's get the likes up to well over 1,000. And we'll keep cooking.
Seeking for help because communists basically killed a lot of Polish people. So in 1989, we had partially free elections. And I would say that the real major democracy would start about, I would say, 2005, because like 2001, post-communist won, using obviously their money from Russia and using their influence. So in 2005, that was the first government after communism in Poland, conservative government. So, you know, we never experienced this time because Poland was occupied. And that is the difference between you and I.
Because that was the best they could do for some kind of dessert.
And the cheapest.
All right, so they probably covered it earlier in the show, but let me look this up. So this must be breaking news. Yeah, literally within the last hour. All right, breaking news, chat. I didn't foresee this one coming.
And welcome back here to Live Now from Fox. I'm Andrew Kraft. We do have some breaking news. The theme of the last 2 days seems to be pardons and commutations.
Which, again, for you guys that are unaware, most presidents pardon on their way out. Very rarely do presidents pardon on their way in. So this is a huge statement by Trump from a political standpoint. Pardoning people on your way in is unheard of.
And mercy. Well, now we're hearing from President Donald Trump issuing yet another pardon for Silk Road founder Ross Ulbricht here. I want to put this up, the Trump War Room, with the screen grab of the Truth Social post. President Trump saying this: I just called the mother of Ross William Ulbricht, he says Albright there, to let her know that in honor of her and the libertarian movement, which supported me so strongly.
Yeah, that's crazy that he got 2 life sentences plus 40 years.
It was my pleasure to have just signed a full and unconditional pardon of her son, Ross. The scum that worked to convict him were some of the same lunatics who were involved in the modern-day weaponization of government against me. He was given...
Yeah, he'll probably pardon Julian Assange next, honestly, chat.
2 life sentences plus 40 years. Ridiculous. So, if you're not familiar with the case of Ross Ulbricht, let's remind you and get you up to speed. Now, remember, Trump made good on this campaign pledge to end the imprisonment of Ulbricht. Ulbricht is 40 years old. It began with his arrest in 2013.
Yeah, so he's been in jail for like 12 years now.
in what became a landmark U.S. prosecution launched only a few years after the emergence.
I told you guys this before, didn't I? It was a landmark prosecution because this is the first time that like these websites, these dark sites, were being investigated and prosecuted by the federal government.
Of cryptocurrency. So reading.
Yeah, and this is back when cryptocurrency was like just getting on the map. Crypto's been around since like 2008, 2009, but it really started to hit the fucking front line when this case broke.
From the piece just put up there in
crypto, just so you guys know, prior to it becoming like, you know, really big after the pandemic, like if you had cryptocurrency, people thought you were a criminal. FY. Cryptocurrency used to be like the scammer thing to do. He's like, use crypto on the dark net. But now it's like mainstream. Having crypto is like a very viable option financially. But 10 years ago, bro, like if you have cryptocurrency, people will look at you like, bro, what the fuck? Like, do you buy drugs on the internet or something? Like, what do you want? So it's amazing how like the tide has shifted in just, 10 short years where cryptocurrency is like a household thing. Bitcoin is a household thing. Established and refined investors are investing in cryptocurrency. It used to be if you said, oh, I got cryptocurrency, people will look at you sideways.
Reuters, he was serving a life sentence after being convicted of running an underground online marketplace that was used by thousands of drug dealers and others to conduct over $200 million worth of illicit sales using Bitcoin.
Also, child porn and guns as well were being sold on the website.
So his arrest.
I broke down the Ross Ulbricht case, by the way. It's on this channel, guys. You can literally go.
Brought to an end what prosecutors described as a global black market bazaar that for 2 years, starting in 2011, had been used by more than 100,000 people to buy and sell $214 million worth of illegal drugs and other illicit services. Prosecutors said Ulbricht ran Silk Road under the alias called Dread Pirate Roberts. That was a reference to a character in the 1987 movie The Princess Bride. And prosecutors said he took extreme steps to protect the marketplace's operation. Those steps, prosecutors said, included soliciting the murders of several people who posed a threat, though they also said no evidence exists that any murders were actually carried out. So a federal jury in Manhattan back in February 2015, now almost a decade ago, found him guilty of charges including distributing drugs through the internet.
Boom, I covered this like almost a year ago. Here it is right here, chat. Fed reacts. Fed explains Ross Ulbricht. I did this shit. God damn, I did it a minute ago. November 26, 2023. So here it is. I'll drop the link in the thing for you guys. Cue it up in your thing. I actually talk about the entire case here. Covered on Fed reacts. Save it in your pinned. How many of you guys, just a show of hands, give me ones in the chat if you did not know that I did this on Fed Reacts. Give me ones in the chat if you did not know or did not see this video on Fed Reacts. Give me ones if you did not know or you did not see it. I want to gauge again and see how bad YouTube has me shadow banned. Give me ones if you did not know or you did not see this. Wow. Okay. Holy shit. All right. Chat, I'm gonna start when I mention a video that I've done in the past, I'm gonna just start like pulling it up for y'all so you guys can like have it. Wow, that's crazy, bro. How shadow banned I am. All right. All right. I will, from now on, when I'm doing these streams, if I cover something, I'll just give y'all the video while I'm on air. That's crazy, bro. The Border Patrol episode, this shit.
And conspiring to commit computer hacking and money laundering. Now, when Trump was candidate Trump last summer, he was invited and addressed and spoke to the Libertarian Political Convention there in Washington, D.C., and he vowed to pardon Ross Ulbricht on day one of his administration if he were elected. Of course, this is day two, and he is following up on that campaign promise. I think it's interesting. I want you to hear the
Hey, promises made or promises being kept.
Crowd's reaction when Trump made that campaign promise, speaking to so many libertarians. Let's listen.
And if you vote for me on day one, I will commute the sentence of Ross Ulbricht of time served.
Oh, shit. Yeah, the libertarians love him.
All right, so you
Hey, he's making good on it, man. Gary Gensler's gone. Ross Ulbricht is free. He pardoned the J6ers. Like, all in all, man, this has been a W2 for 48 hours for Trump, bro.
With free Ross signs roaring into applause and shouting and hollering there after Trump made that campaign promise.
All right, so Ross Ulbricht is free. That is good. Let's get back to CNN freaking out.
It's Melania Trump to influence Donald Trump, make her richer. You know, you no longer have to sign up at the Trump Hotel. You just actually come in and make a purchase right online. That is a corruption that runs so deep and runs to the heart of not just Donald Trump, but the entire administration. That, combined with all those billionaires lined up in the front row, just tells you this is an administration determined to make.
All right. Let's see here. Let's cover Israel Hamas. So let's listen to the IDF version of events first. This actually comes from the IDF, their official YouTube channel.
At 8:30 a.m. yesterday, the ceasefire agreement between Israel and Hamas was supposed to go into effect. This was dependent on Hamas providing the names of the 3 hostages by 4 p.m. the day before. Hamas did not uphold their end of the agreement as of Sunday morning, and therefore the ceasefire agreement was delayed. After Hamas complied, the agreement came into effect. During this deal, Israeli hostages who have been held in brutal conditions for over 471 days are supposed to return back to Israel. Those who are alive will be reunited with their families, and those whose bodies were taken into Gaza or who were killed in captivity will be returned for proper burial in Israel. Since the bloody massacre of October 7th, we've been operating to dismantle Hamas and to recover our hostages, some in military operations like Oron Shaul, whose body was recovered briefly before the ceasefire came into effect, and some via agreements like Romi, Emily, and Doron. Make no mistake, if Hamas does not hold up their end of the deal, we have the right to continue to respond to the threat Hamas poses inside Gaza. The IDF will remain vigilant on all fronts at all times in order to protect our civilians.
So this comes straight from them, and you know, and in the effort to be neutral here, I'm showing you guys both perspectives. So we're gonna watch a couple of IDF videos here. They're all really short, but in the name of being impartial, I'm showing you guys the Israeli government's stuff, and I'll show you the other side. Looks like they have a non-fucking audio. Oh my God, these niggas don't even use audio? Yeah, that's how you can tell it's the government, bro. The niggas' quality is
Since
trash.
the October 7th massacre, our mission
Okay, this is IDF spots regarding the return of Emily Duran and Romi.
has been clear.
This came out 2 days ago when the hostages were released.
Bring home all the hostages held by Hamas in Gaza. Today, as part of these ongoing efforts.
Someone asked in the chat, why the IDF propaganda? Because I'm going to show you the other side, bro. That's why. I'm showing you the Israeli military You call it propaganda if you want, fine. But I'm trying to stay impartial here and show you guys both sides. That's why I'm doing that.
We welcomed home 3 hostages, 3 young women, after 471 days in Hamas captivity. Let me tell you about these 3 young women. Romi Gonen, who turned 24 in captivity. Romi was dancing with friends at the Nova Music Festival when Hamas terrorists invaded and attacked the festival, massacring and abducting young people from around the world who were celebrating peace, love, and unity. Emily Damari, who turned 28 in captivity. Emily, a dual Israeli and British citizen, was abducted by Hamas from her quiet home in Kibbutz Kfar Aza. Terrorists shot and killed her dog and dragged her into Gaza. And Doron Steinbacher, who turned 31 in captivity. Doron, a veterinary nurse who brutally abducted from her home in Kibbutz Kfar Aza, was still in her pajamas. We cannot imagine the horrors these 3 young women have endured in 50 months of Hamas captivity. Today, we salute and embrace them and their families as they reunite after so long. We must also remember the brave soldiers who risked their lives and those who paid the ultimate price to ensure that this moment of the hostages coming back home was possible. We cannot and will not forget the 94 hostages, including women, children, and elderly, remain in Hamas' brutal captivity. Our mission is not over until every single hostage comes home.
Yeah, so their main objectives when they embarked in this war was to get rid of Hamas and return the hostages home. So far,
us. Early on Monday morning, several buses carrying the detainees left the gates of Israel's Ofer prison just outside the West Bank city of Ramallah. Hundreds of people gathered to celebrate the release, with several climbing on the top of one of the buses. The freed prisoners are said to be women and teenage boys from the West Bank and Jerusalem.
yeah, so they got a pretty crazy deal. Like, literally hundreds of Palestinians are going to be released as a part of this deal.
They're the first of 1,900 Palestinians Israel is set to release in exchange for
1,900.
For 33 Israeli
33 Israelis for 900 plus. Or, sorry, was it? Hold on.
They're the first of 1,900 Palestinians.
1,900 for 33. But that just goes to show you guys how many prisoners Israel has compared to prisoners Hamas has. Not just find their actions, but that's why October 7th happened, so they can have political leverage to get their people back.
Israel is set to release in exchange for 33 Israeli